Welcome to Garage Sales Unhinged.
where the characters are as quirky as the finds.
I'm Julie.
And I'm Jake.
Join us as we dive into the wild world of garage sales, yard sales, estate sales, and anywhere secondhand sales are happening.
From bizarre bargains to hilarious haggles.
You won't believe the stories we've got lined up.
Let's get unhinged.
Jacob, are you familiar with the world's longest garage sale?
You've mentioned that to me before, but refresh my memory.
No.
Good answer.
So the world's longest garage sale goes just under 700 miles and it passes through six states: Michigan, Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee, Georgia, and Alabama. This year, it's going to be August 6th through 9th. So in just a few weeks, it'll happen. I came across an article. It's on the Chinook Observer from a guy named, the article's written by Kate Gable. And I'm not going to read the whole article. It's not really like what I want to bring to the podcast today is not about this article. It's about what this person went through to try to get ready for the world's longest garage sale.
Okay.
So,
Like as a patron or as a vendor?
as a vendor.
Okay.
So they were going to go through some of this stuff and going, I'm just going to put some things out for sale. This world's longest garage sale gets a lot of traffic. It's a very popular event in the world of secondhand sales. And so they decided that they were going to start going through their things to pull stuff out. Jake, do you know what happens when you start going through your things?
A lot of side quests.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what this person ended up doing. They did end up getting a couple of pieces of furniture ready to sell, but they had the help of some neighbors to get ready for their sale. And so they had another set of neighbors that were also taking part in the world's longest garage sale. And they started selling things on Thursday. And they had tons of traffic. They had a lot of people there. They probably cleaned up pretty well on that Thursday. Friday and Saturday, it rained. And for the person that's writing this article, they wanted to do their sale on Friday and Saturday, and they had a bunch of furniture. And then they're like, oh, they didn't get as much traffic because the weather. And also they started to realize like, maybe this new generation of buyers, they don't want to purchase large pieces of furniture. I have one, and this is something that this person was trying to sell. Do you know what a hope chest is?
Yeah, like big, bulky, heavy, solid wood chest, like you say. Sometimes you find them at the foot of a bed.
Yes. So our parents gave me one whenever I was, I don't know, 16, 17, because that's what a teenager wants, is a hope chest. I didn't even know what it was at the time. I still have it to this day. Don't really use it, but I still have it. A hope chest is made of cedar, and it's meant for unmarried women to put things in preparation for marriage someday. And
Yes,
Jake
I
is
love that
laughing.
Our parents gave that to you at that age. I'm sure they had no idea what the hell the original use was, but it was very much kind of like setting it like, here's our expectation.
I mean, it was kind of like, well, you figure out your dowry because we're not going to.
Look, the boys make it very clear how to shop for them. They want Nintendo. We assume you want to bear children. So why
I
is it called a
remember,
hope chest?
because you hope to get married someday. I don't know.
Oh, okay, that's it.
I do very clearly remember we were in high school, and I might have been a sophomore or junior, but I told our mom that I did not want to have children of my own. And mom, we were in the kitchen one day, and she's like, Julie, a woman doesn't have to have children. Like, that is a choice you get to make. And I was like, okay. And we went back to doing whatever we were doing. And not 20 seconds later, she goes, well, you could adopt. And I was like, Mom, that is having children. She's like, oh, I thought you meant you didn't want to get pregnant. And I was like, no, I don't want children. So, yeah. Anyway, I ended up getting married. I don't even think my husband knows I have a hope chest. Boy, is he in for a treat whenever he opens it.
Wait, Doug doesn't know that you have a hope chest?
I don't think so.
Where is it?
It's in the guest bedroom.
He doesn't know it's in there?
It's not something he goes in to look at and be like, "Oh, this is my wife's dowry. Look at us." And also the stuff that is in there, like, I think I have a blanket from high school, some old picture frames, maybe an old tennis trophy, like, solid.
As as the Lord intended. That's what
Yeah.
those are for. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in the Amish community, I would suck. So, um, anyway, this person in this article, they were trying to sell a hope chest, and then they realized, like, oh, this new generation of people don't want hope chest. And part of it's going, and they were like, oh, they want IKEA furniture. They want the
Yeah,
fat.
these kids today, they want Pokemans. They gotta get the Pikachu. That's all they care about. Yeah.
Well, they want the fast fashion of furniture, right? So the IKEA stuff and things that are smaller, easier to move. But it's also, hey, we have a housing issue. We don't have a lot of space for me to have a big cedar chest that maybe one day I'll get married. And then my future husband would be like, that's a keeper because she has a cedar chest. So,
Like solid hips and heavy furniture. That's what it's
yes,
about. Yep.
my wife is sturdy. That's why I like her.
Yep.
Um, so anyway, this person was going through, they were trying to find things to put into their garage sale. And like you mentioned, they got onto a side quest. And as they were going through boxes, and this was boxes that they hadn't actually opened since they moved to this area 20 plus years ago. They haven't opened up boxes. And they moved away from their college town to where they're living at now. So whenever they started going through it, they started finding their college work, things that they had from their
Oh,
mid-20s and things like that. Um, and before I ask you the question, but one of the things that they did find was they this is from the article. They unearthed a note from David Wagner, who was a prominent Northwest poet and past professor at the University of Washington. David wrote some kind words about this person's Master's of Arts in Poetry dissertation in 1974. So at the time, he wasn't a famous poet. Now he is a famous poet, and this person had a personalized letter from this poet. So like it was kind of cool to go through it and to cherish it and like, oh, that's amazing that I have this thing. Um, but it was kind of interesting of like, I as I was reading it, I'm going, even whenever I try to clean out like a closet, I get stuck on all the side quest stuff of like, oh, I haven't seen this thing in a long time and I really want to like investigate it or use it again. Or, oh, this is the screw that goes onto that thing and I've been looking for that screw. Let me go do it real quick. And then it
yeah.
knows
The,
that I
the
have
small
ADHD.
the smallest physical thing can trigger a string of memories.
Yes.
And I think we've talked about this a few times. Is that that's some of the reasons that people end up with a glut of stuff is out of concern that, well, if I like, look, mom, dad, uncle, aunt, whoever, like, you've got all the stuff, you got to thin it out. And their concern is that, well, if I get rid of that, if I get rid of the totem, I lose access to the memory it represents.
Hmm.
And in a way that kind of makes sense because, well, would you think about the thing but for this item that reminds you of that memory? And I guess in a way that kind of makes sense. But at the same time, it's okay to keep moving. Like those things do not go away. Maybe it does give us reason to be more mindful and have more like find ways to have more quiet moments so that you can just reflect and those memories become accessible more often.
Okay, Jake, what you just said is beautiful and I agree with you. However, can I also throw a wrench into this and going, why aren't we more mindful before we shove stuff into boxes?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like let's stop keeping crap and going, especially like cuz we did this whenever we moved into our house several years ago that we just threw a bunch of things into boxes and then once we got to our new home and I start to unbox things And I'm going, why did I pay someone to move this box? And I
Yeah.
should have just tossed it in the dumpster.
Yeah. Well, moving stinks. It is
It
like,
does.
just get everything over there. I don't care. Just do it. It's hot. The doors are open and my AC is blowing and it's Texas in the summer. This stinks, like, so you just want to get it done. So no one can fault you for that.
Are you planning a garage sale, yard sale, or estate sale and need some help? Look no further than Garage Sale Supply. They provide top-notch resources and expert advice to help you host the perfect sale. From pricing tips to promotional strategies, they've got you covered. Visit garagesalesupply.com and make your next sale a success.
So this brings up a good story. I have some friends that they just sold their house. It's a beautiful home. Um, I don't remember how many bedrooms and bathrooms, but let's just say it's 3 bedroom, 3 bath, 2-story home, 2,600 square feet. I'm making stuff up, but that's about the range that they were looking at. So they just sold their home and they are building a tiny home.
Hmm.
And they had to go through their home and get rid of lifetimes worth of stuff because
Yeah.
they physically cannot take it with them to the tiny home.
Yeah.
So and granted, their tiny home, they're getting a little shed to go near it because that will be the wife's home office and stuff like that. And they also needed things for extra storage. But whenever you think about it, the area that it actually takes a lot of clutter. It holds a lot of stuff is the kitchen. Whenever you move to a tiny home, you're not storing up several casserole dishes or several plates. Like you'll have limited space, but it also makes you to cause you to take a step back and going, in reality, am I ever going to have a dinner party of 24 people?
Right.
And so like as my friends have been going through that transition and at first they were selling some things that they had and then like towards the end they were like come and get it like we're not
Yeah.
selling it, just come and get it because one of the biggest things that they were trying to get rid of is the wife did a lot of seasonal decor. So your autumn stuff, your 4th of July decorations, your Christmas stuff, and she's like I can't take any of it. So for families that are starting out or people that want to do that type of decor, go to her house. She had all of it. You could get it for free. But again, it's one of those things of one, we live in a society that is abundant, but also we tend to feel like we have to have houses and then fill them up. And reading this person's article about them going through and going, okay, I'm going to do this garage sale, and then having multiple side quests. And that side quest did lead to some things of like, oh, I didn't realize that this famous poet had written me a personal letter. But at the same time, if you didn't do the garage sale, you would have never known that that letter was in there.
Mhm.
And how long would that box have stayed in storage until like you died? And then like as your family goes through your estate, they're going, hey, just toss this stuff. We don't know what it is.
Or it's at that point that somebody goes like, wow, grandpa didn't know he had a Renoir this whole time.
Right.
That kind of
Oh,
thing.
oh, grandpa. Come on, grandpa.
Grandpa. Oh, grandpa. That's
Okay.
so grandpa.
So let's talk about, since you brought this up, what did you get from our grandparents whenever this is our mom's parents? Whenever they passed away, what did you get from them?
I got something from them.
Yes, all of the grandkids, we got something from the house.
I know
Also,
one thing I do have. Yeah,
what
actually.
for our listeners, our grandparents, like we don't come from money. They didn't have a lot of stuff. So with all the grandkids getting one thing, like it was cool. It was a treasure to be
Mhm.
able to get something from our grandparents' house. And the kids, our parents, our aunts and uncles said, hey, yeah, let the kids take one thing that they want. So what did you get?
I, the thing I the thing I have is a item of my grandmother's, and it's one of her ashtrays.
Describe the ashtray.
It is green glass, dark green, It's got the slots and everything like that. It's heavy.
Hold on one second. You have two things of hers because I didn't know you had the green one.
What's the other thing I have?
Finish describing the ashtray.
Well, it's an ashtray. What do you want? It's almost like it's like a plate with an attitude. It's an ashtray, which is awesome. And honestly, I think that's one of I don't know what, I guess I picked that because, hey, look, Mama was a smoker, man.
Yeah.
She loved her cigarettes. And that was something I always associated. And like for me, it's like a representation of that love. And so it made a lot of sense. But there's a lot of value and importance in that. But I think it's really interesting also is furniture and stuff associated with smoking.
Hmm.
Because we realized, oh, that's not good for you or the people around you.
Right.
Back when we believed that, shared responsibility was a thing, so ashtrays and like stuff related to smoking, I think is really interesting because it is kind of absolutely a relic of a bygone time. And so I think it's cool stuff.
The other thing that you got from them was another ashtray.
Okay.
Like, what's behind door number 1? This green ashtray. What's behind door number 2? Another ashtray.
Ashtray. Stupid. Yeah. So
Uh,
what
I think
other
this one
ashtray
is
do I
yours.
have? Is there a camera in my home? What's
I think you have this one, but it is an ashtray. It stands about 2.5 feet tall, and it looks like a night checker piece.
I wish
It's
I had
heavy
that.
as all get out.
I know what you're talking about. I can picture it in my mind, but no, I don't have that.
I think mom and dad might have it for you.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I'll take it.
Yeah. It
No,
was
yeah,
so
it's
interesting.
very cool. I think I would know if I had a 2 foot tall piece of like highly specialized furniture, but
Hey, you should text my husband and ask if he knows that we have a cedar chest.
yeah, that's fair. You could
Um,
be hiding a midget in there and he wouldn't know it. A short person. Sorry.
honestly, I could probably charge that short person some rent. It's a big chest.
Yeah.
What I got from our grandparents, do you remember what I got?
Yes, you have a piece of art, which is actually very cool art.
Yes.
I know
So
you made a few people kind of like upset that you claimed it.
well, tough titties, like I claimed it first. But this piece of artwork, every single time I look at it, it reminds me of our grandparents because whenever I was a kid, it always hung in their bedroom. And so for the longest time, and I can tell people how to clean it, but let me explain what it is. It is a velvet painting of a matador and a bull. And this painting is not painted by anyone famous. Velvet paintings don't have a lot of value to them. The colors in it are still very vibrant. It's on a piece of black velvet, and the frame is still original to it. Our Uncle Ray actually bought it for Mama and Papa whenever he was in New Mexico one time. And so I think that's the story of it. Anyway, that's the story I'm telling. It's my podcast now. It's true.
Yeah,
And
shut up.
and so like it hung in their house for decades. And whenever I finally got it, as you can imagine, and Jacob just alluded to it, our grandparents, both of them, smoked like crazy. That velvet painting smelled like fresh cigarettes.
Yeah.
And so I found out how you clean a velvet painting. And how you clean a velvet painting is that you take the hose from a vacuum, you put pantyhose over the opening of it, and on the back side of the velvet painting, you vacuum it.
Hmm.
And it takes the any kind of debris or dirt and the smell out of the velvet.
Fascinating.
Yeah, and it does not ruin the paint itself.
Yeah, it's a very cool piece. That was like a popular thing
Yeah.
for a while was velvet paintings. It's a really, really cool piece of art, honestly.
Yeah. I'm a big fan. And then it's also funny because a lot of, I mean, I had it hanging up in the house I lived in before this one. And a lot of times, like you wouldn't notice like how I how I decorate it or the environment I put it in, people don't realize it's a velvet painting because it doesn't really stand out as a garish velvet painting. But whenever I tell people, I'm like, oh yeah, I have a velvet painting. It hangs up in our formal living room. And they're like, I'm sorry, you have what?
Yeah, yeah.
Funniest thing, whenever I take a picture of it, and they're like, oh my God, you have a velvet painting in your house. I'm like, yeah, it's bitchin'. It's awesome.
Well, yeah, no, it is. It is. I guess that is kind of the fun thing when people do kind of set up to do a garage sale or whatever, whether it's the longest one in the country or not. Um, it's good to plan ahead and
Yeah.
try to build in that buffer time it'll take for you to walk through your past a little bit. 'Cause
And
that's where
I will say this person's neighbors that were helping them get ready for the garage sale, whenever they started doing a side quest, they told them, put that aside, go through it later. Let's focus on getting the things for the garage sale. So if you, listener, are going through the similar exercise of, hey, I need to find stuff for an estate sale, for a yard sale, for garage sale, sell things online, whatever it is, and you start to notice you're doing a side quest, get a friend that says, hey, let's focus on this one thing, um, and be able to come back to it. So, like the thing for this author, they came back to those papers, those boxes, and found some cool keepsakes for them, but they didn't need to go through it in that moment to try to find the pieces that they wanted to find for the longest garage sale. So,
no, an accountability partner. Hey, yeah.
yeah, accountability buddy. I love it. Anyway, that's what I have for this week, Jake.
Well, thank you very much, Julie.
Bye.
Enjoy. Enjoy. Enjoy.
You enjoy. Bye.